if they say lactose free, okay, and you see milk or any kind of milk product in there, you know they're lying. If they say 0 calories, 0 fat, and you're using an oil spray, you know they're lying. Dave Palumbo here with an RX Muscle rant. Today's topic is misleading labels on foods. I am sick and tired of this now. Enough is enough already. I can't take it. And you know what? I'm not going to list 14 different foods and 18 different labels. And I'm not going through a whole list of litany. I'm going to talk about 2 specific things that drive me absolutely nuts in the food industry. And that's why you guys out there have to be very smart consumers, and you have to know how to read a food label. And I promise you I'm going to be giving a course in my Dave Palumbo University website about how to read dietary labels, food supplement labels, supplement fact panels, all that great stuff, because they're totally misleading and very tricky. And the reason they are is because they want to confuse the consumer so that you guys buy their crap and think that, oh, it's free calories, it's healthy, I can get away with this. Not the case. Specifically, let's talk about these vegetable, or sometimes they're actually pretty good oils, olive oil, spray cooking oils. You ever see these things? Pam was the original. Everyone used to, back in my day in the 90s, used to get Pam, which was probably back then it was probably terrible corn oil or sunflower oil, which is a horrendous pro-inflammatory oil. But nowadays they put olive oil in there, which is probably just as bad, because you really can't cook with olive oil because it burns. Regardless of the fact, it's these cooking sprays. You spray the pan, okay, and you see them, they use this in all these fast food grills and everything like that because it's very convenient, right? It puts a nice even texture on the pan. You throw your eggs in there, you throw your chicken in there, you throw your beef in there, you throw your fish in there, and you cook them, right? Super healthy. No extra calories, nothing sticks, easy cleanup. Personally, I think it's not really that easy cleanup. I think when you put any kind of oil into a pan, it splatters. But that's another topic. We can go talk about what the best way to cook foods is. I poach my foods. I put water, soy sauce in the pan, I cook them in there. Or I put water and spices in there and I cook them in there. There's no extra oils. But if you read the oil, and I'm going to put the label up, and you look at these sprays, they say 0 calories. They say 0 fat, 0 protein, 0 carbs per serving. How is that possible? Then you go down and you look at the label and you look at the ingredient list. And what does the ingredient list say? Extra virgin olive oil or sunflower oil, whatever oil soybean oil, whatever they happen to be using in these sprays. How could you have an oil as an ingredient, the only ingredient in the product, so whatever you're spraying out of that can, it's oil, which is by definition a fat, have 0 fat in the product? So when you use it, how could you be spraying 0 fat onto your thing and 0 calories when we know that every gram of fat is at least 10 calories, 9 to 10 calories in that range? Do you think anyone really sprays the one spray or whatever the serving size they have on these cans is? Of course not. Of course not. But they put a small enough of a serving size so that it can be under 1 gram. And if it's under 1 gram, they can put 0 because they can lie. They have rules on food labels, not supplement fact panels, but on food labels. So if you're using a food grade product and you have a food label, you can lie on the label. If it's under 1 gram, you can put 0. So people buy these sprays. They're not educated in nutrition whatsoever. And they say, oh, 0 calories, 0 fat. I can use it. And psh, psh, 6 times a day, 5 times a day. How many times they have to cook their food and eat that food? They're spraying tons of oil into that pan. Of course, you put your chicken in there, you put your fish in there, you put your meat in there. What happens? Sucks it right in. So all that oil gets completely coats the food you're eating, and now you're adding extra fat calories, and in most cases they're unhealthy fats because they're either corn oils or if they're extra virgin olive oil, you're cooking with them and they're burning and they're turning into terribly unhealthy oils. So here you are thinking that you're eating, 6 ounces of lean fish that has, probably 1 or 2 grams of fat in it at most. Okay, maybe you're eating it with some broccoli, or maybe you're having a half a cup of rice, 30 grams of carbs, and you think you're getting only 2 grams of fat that's in the fish. Meanwhile, all that fat you sprayed in the pan got soaked into the fish that you cooked, and now you're actually eating 15 or 20 grams of fat. Maybe more. We don't even know how much that fish will absorb. Probably the leaner the fish, the more it's going to soak up. Stupid. And it's not your fault out there. Well, it is because you're not reading the labels. It's the deceptive marketing that the FDA is allowing these companies to get away with. Why can't they put exactly how many grams? If it's 0.9 grams of fat per serving, put it on there. Because 0.9 grams of fat has about 8 calories, in that. And why not put a real serving size? Well, you know what? Most people are going to use 5 sprays. It's this many grams of fat, for 5 sprays. They lie and they lie and they lie, okay? Because who doesn't want to use a cooking spray that doesn't have any calories in it and is free, right? It's free. Nothing's free. Remember that. No free meals, as my father would say. Avoid cooking oils when you're dieting for a show, unless you're going to maybe put, I always tell people, I sell a macadamia nut oil, and I use like literally a dime's worth in the pan, and I wipe it completely just to lubricate the pan enough. And macadamia nut oil you could actually cook with. So, but if you use a tablespoon of macadamia nut oil, you're going to get 15 grams of fat. And we put that on the bottle because that's the truth of the matter. So watch out for the oils. That is a big no-no, and a lot of people make mistakes with that, and a lot of women are not losing weight because of that. I work with them, I know. I work with hundreds and hundreds of people every single year. Over the last 30 years, I probably, worked with thousands of people over the course of that time period. And a lot of them make the same mistakes. I see it all the time. Now, another thing that's kind of just close to my heart is I'm very lactose intolerant. What that means is that if I eat dairy products, okay, that contain lactose in them, which all dairy products do essentially, unless they've been removed. Like in the case of my whey isolate protein, we removed 99.99% of all the lactose. It's filtered. But if you're drinking a glass of milk per se, you're eating cheese or yogurts, they have lactose in there. That's the sweetening agent that Mother Nature puts in there naturally. The problem is a lot of people can't digest lactose because we lack the enzyme. And especially as you get older, you lose the ability to digest lactose because the lactase enzyme is an induced enzyme system, meaning that your body, when it's exposed to lactose, your digestive tract, your body starts producing lactase, which is the enzyme that breaks it down. It's not always there. Like all the other enzymes are always there, but this is an induced enzyme system. As we get older, sometimes when you consume these dairy products, your body just stops producing lactase. Why it happens, I don't know. I have a genetic defect. I found out when I got my DNA tested. But as a kid, I thought I digested lactose. Maybe I never did, But the bottom line is that they have products now in the market, ice creams, they have milks that say lactose-free. Lactose-free, okay. Hey, I'm lactose intolerant. When I see lactose-free, I get excited. I'm like, wow, I love ice cream. If I can have ice cream that has no lactose in it, I don't have to worry about getting gas and diarrhea, this is like a dream come true for me. And I love the taste of milk. I would love to put milk in some of my, keto cereal that I eat occasionally. So I'm like, great, if I can get lactose-free milk. So, I've tried all these products, and what happens? I poop my brains out from them. And then I go and I kind of am smarter than that, but I've tried them out just to be able to do a video like this. But I kind of knew by reading the ingredient list that they were not going to work for me. And why is that? Because the first ingredient on the lactose-free ice cream and the lactose-free milk is milk. Okay? How could you have milk as an ingredient, the first ingredient, which means it's present in the most, volume. How could you have milk and then say it's lactose free? Okay, it's impossible. So I'm thinking to myself, well, how are they doing this? Skim milk, whole milk is the first ingredient. How could they write this on the actual outside of the bottle, right on the front? You'll see. I'll put the labels up. Lactose-free milk, lactose-free ice cream. They put an enzyme in there called lactase, which we know breaks down lactose. But then they even say in the description, not on the container, but if you read the website with the foods they're selling, they say lactase enzyme may break down the lactose in the milk or whatever products they're putting it in to make it more easily digestible. Now, lactase breaks down lactose into galactose and glucose, which are simple sugars, monosaccharides, which obviously we have no problem absorbing, even myself. It's the lactose that we can't digest, or people who are lactose intolerant can't digest. So they sprinkle a little enzyme in there, and now all of a sudden the marketing team can write lactose free in it. Do they really know if the lactose has all been digested? Nope. Are they required to test whether all the lactose is actually digested? Nope. All they're required to do is put the enzyme in there and say, hopefully the lactose all gets digested. Does it ever all get digested? Nope. No way. Never happens, never will. Sprinkling lactase enzyme into milk will not digest all the lactose in the milk. I don't even think it digests any of it personally, because I don't think the enzyme is actually active unless it's in the body in the right environment, okay? Because in the intestinal tract, okay, it's super alkaline. The superalkalinity activates the enzymes that digest lactose, which is the lactase enzyme. You don't have those conditions present in milk. So when you drink that milk, that lactase enzyme hasn't done anything. It hasn't broken down any of the lactose in there. And that's why they say it tastes the same. Of course it tastes the same, because it hasn't done anything and it has not digested the lactose in there. So they're misleading the consumer, thinking that this is safe for people who are lactose intolerant. Drink all the lactose-free milk you want. Eat all the lactose-free ice cream you want. Not going to bother your stomach because we put lactase enzyme in there. Guess what? You want to find out how effective their lactase enzyme is there? Go buy some lactose-free ice cream that has milk as its first ingredient. Or go buy some milk that has milk as its first ingredient. You will poop your brains out, okay? You will stink your house out. You might not even make it to the toilet. You might crap your pants, actually. And shame on you, because I warned you if you watched this video. Learn to read the ingredient lists on the labels, not the fact panels. The fact panels can lie because they manipulate those fact panels based on serving sizes. The ingredient list never lies. Okay, they cannot lie on that list. So, if they say, lactose free, okay, and you see milk or any kind of milk product in there, you know they're lying. If they say 0 calories, 0 fat, and you're using an oil spray, you know they're lying, okay? And likewise, you might be thinking you're using a seasoning on your food that is carb-free, but if there's maltodextrin in there and honey and all the other hidden ways of saying sugar, then they're lying. Don't trust the fact panels. Read the ingredient list. That tells the whole story. Because they manipulate, once again, I'm going to say it one more time, they manipulate the fact panels by the serving size. If you put a small enough serving size, you can say it has nothing in it, because there is nothing, because it's not, the serving size is not a realistic serving size. Who uses, okay, if you're going to put, a seasoning on a food, who puts 1 grain of the actual seasoning on there? No one does that. No one does that. It's like, I can't believe it's not butter. You ever see those? You ever see that product? I can't believe it's not butter. It's not butter. It's worse than butter. It's sunflower or soybean oil, which is terrible, pro-inflammatory omega-6 fat, but they say it doesn't have any calories because one spray, that's it. No fat, no calories. Guess what? What's in there? It's fat! That's all it's made of. It's an oil. It's an oil that has some salt in it to make it taste like butter. But it's oil. It's fat. They lie. They lie. You have to be smart enough to catch it. Please, I hope this video helps. I hope it helps you not sabotage your diet. And maybe if you're doing some of these things that I talked about in here, unbeknownst to you, now you can stop it and make that progress you're looking to make. Dave Palumbo with an RX Muscle Rant.